Another strategy that we use in second grade for adding two-digit numbers besides decomposing is we use open number lines. So this is what we call our open number, number line strategy. An open number line is a number line with no predetermined numbers on it. So we call this our open number line strategy. So if we take numbers that you wouldn't usually carry with, in the past we wouldn't usually carry with, and we use that for doing our open number line. Let's take 44 plus 32. Okay. What we would usually do is draw an open number line, and when we're adding, we usually go forward, and we usually start with the big number. So we would start with 44, and then we would take this 32, and we could divide it or decompose it into 3 tens and a 2. So we know 32 is 3 tens and a 2. Then we would jump by tens, because it's easy to add tens to a number. So 44 plus 10 would be 54. Plus 10 more would be 64. And plus 10 more would be 74. Sometimes I tell the kids to cross out their tens as they're jumping so they know how much they're jumping by. And I try to make the jumps fairly even if they're adding by 10. And then the 2 would be a much smaller jump. And we added the 2. And then we would do 74 plus 2 would be 76. So now we know the answer to 44 plus 32 is 76 because we kept jumping by tens until, and then 2 ones until we got to 76. Now another way to do this same problem on an open number line is you might not necessarily, if a child is really strong with this concept, they might not necessarily need to break it into all the tens and all the ones. So they might just break it into 30 and 2. And they would start at 44, and they would make one big jump of 30, and they would know that that is 44 plus 30 is 74. Then they might make the last jump of 2 and get to 76. So it depends on the child's level of comfort with the open number line and how they can how they feel about decomposing the numbers. Now let's take a number that you wouldn't usually, or you would usually carry with if we were teaching carrying, which we're not in second grade anymore. So let's take 34 plus 57. Now I always tell the kids it's easier to start with a bigger number because then you have to jump less on an open number line. So you might take 57 and put it here. And again, depending on the child's level of comfort, you could break this up into 30 and 4 or 3 tens and a 4. Jump by 10. Jump by 10 more. Jump by 10 more. Trying to keep them fairly even, and then jump by 4. And you can do this in whatever order you want. 57 plus 10, 67. Whoops, 67. Let me fix that. Plus 10 more is 77. And plus 10 more is 87. Now, 87 plus 4 is a little bit hard because you're going into the 90s. So if that's hard, you could jump by 3 and then 1. So you could go to 90 and then 91. Or we could just jump by 4 and know that we get 91. Sometimes crossing that 10s is hard for some kids. So you could do plus 4, or if the child's really struggling with that, you could say, okay, well, let's get to 90 and then add the rest. So you could say plus 3 is 90, and then you've managed to cross that 10 and add 1 more, which would be 91. Okay? So this is a review of the strategy where we add 2-digit numbers together using an open number line. So you can decompose numbers into 10s and 1s, or you can use an open number line, which also does involve some decomposing of numbers.